to make sure that it has shelf life. Someone's got to store it, be able to put it back up, the same stuff that others do, because the sponsor side.
I know it's going to be in recess during breaks, but the city benefits with another class racing series joining the IndyCar organization. They're going to get another spectacular featured race on Saturday.
Wesley, the Director of Marketing for the Baltimore Grand Prix, and we're so happy to welcome many of the friends of the Grand Prix and especially the great racing fans of Baltimore who have shown so much enthusiasm for this event. This is a very exciting day for the Baltimore Grand Prix as we celebrate tomorrow being the beginning of a one-year countdown for the inaugural event next year. And we think you're going to enjoy us celebrating this with a very exciting announcement today. So to start things off, I'd like to welcome the CEO of the Baltimore Grand Prix, Jay Davidson.
Thank you, Austin. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out to share this milestone day with us. I know it's very hot, and I think this is indicative of the excitement that's in the city and the region for our event. It's a very exciting time for us. We've been working over the last several months since we had a media event on doing a number of things that are going to make our event that much stronger. We've made modifications to our track that will allow the fans to have a better experience. We feel that the cars will now be pitting parallel to the historical warehouse at the B&O warehouse at Camden Yards, and we'll be padding cars within the convention center, which I think will be a tremendous element for our event. We've also been excited to announce that we've been able to move the date for the inaugural Grand Prix to Labor Day weekend of 2011. We've always wanted to make this event a destination for people traveling throughout the region and really throughout the world to visit our great city, and we think making it Labor Day will make it that much easier for those fans. Thank you. We've had a very enthusiastic response from our business partners throughout the city and the state, and we think we will have some very exciting news in the sponsorship arena to be announcing shortly. We're also greatly appreciative of the number of volunteers who have signed up and the folks who have already signed up for early ticket sales. We expect that tickets will go on sale mid-November. Of course, we're greatly appreciative of the support and leadership of Mayor Rawlings Blake and Councilman Cole, who will introduce the mayor shortly. Also would like to thank the rest of the council, many of whom are here, including Council President Jack Young.
After I did my own due diligence back in 2008, the very first person I talked to about this race was our next speaker. I sat in her office at City Hall and explained what Baltimore Racing Development wanted to do, explained the entire concept, and discussed the many challenges ahead. She looked me right in the eye and said, "This could be a game changer for Baltimore. It's good for the economy, it's good for jobs, and it's good for the city. Let's do it." That woman is now the mayor of Baltimore, and one of her first acts after taking office was to finalize the contract with Baltimore Racing Development to establish the Baltimore Grand Prix. None of this would be possible without her. Please join me in welcoming my friend and the mayor of the great city of Baltimore, Stephanie Rawlings Blake.
Thank you very much and good afternoon. I have to say this is a beautiful and exciting day, and when I said those months ago that this would be a game changer, I did not realize how profound that statement would be. The women are equally as excited about the possibilities of this race weekend, so I know that we are truly going to be a destination. Again, Councilman Cole, thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you for having vision enough to see. and we'll have years of racing history made right on these streets in Baltimore. So I think in the long term, it will truly be worth it. And we see the excitement of the fans that come from all over to be a part of this weekend. We'll know that we did the right thing. So it is a great pleasure to announce that that American Le Mans Series is joining the Baltimore Grand Prix as a headlining race in the inaugural event on Labor Day weekend 2011. The American Le Mans Series is the world's leading sports car race series based on the traditions of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Adding such a prestigious series like American Le Mans to Baltimore Grand Prix greatly enhances the overall event for not only race fans but for the entire community. With 2 headlining races from American Le Mans Series and the IndyCar Series, the Baltimore Grand Prix will be one of the most exciting motorsports events in the world.
You made me blush, and Scott, that was awful. I'll get even later. It is very cool for us to be here. It is such an amazing honor. All of us are very excited, to have another street course added to our calendar. And for those of you that live here, and those of you that know motorsports, know you are sitting on a gold mine, because there are so many, not just racing fans, but sports car fans, whether you love the Corvette, which is the greatest car in the world, or lesser cars like the Ferrari and BMW. There really is, I'm just speaking the truth, it really is, there's no great racing. In this part of the country. There's no great racing in New England, no great racetracks, and so, the amount of energy and automotive-loving people that you're going to be bringing to your city, you're going to be overwhelmed. Some of you might have had the opportunity to visit the Long Beach Grand Prix, and it is spectacular. It has rebuilt that city, has placed that city on the world map. For me as a competitor in the American Le Mans Series, one of the funniest things for me is to look at the driver entry list, because I come from a very small town in Georgia called Flowery Branch. Yes, there is a town called Flowery Branch, Georgia, little tiny village, and then when you look at the entry sheet, you see guys from Monaco, Milan, Munich, Paris. It is truly an international group of drivers, engineers from around the world that gather to compete in the American Le Mans Series. So, when this event takes place, it's not going to just be, the United States of America that is focusing on you. It's the world. Our broadcasts of our races are around the world. I race for Corvette, and as you might have heard, my company had a little bit of a financial problem. And you're allowed to laugh at that. And you might ask, why are you competing in the American Le Mans Series? Okay, I can guarantee you that General Motors took a good look at our series and what we do at Corvette Racing, and they have a lot of ways to formulate, okay, where is our money well spent? And they actually found that the money that they spend on Corvette Racing gives them a better return on their investment than their involvement in NASCAR. Okay, and the reason for that is the amount of publicity that the team generates, but also the technology transfer that takes place between our Corvette and that gets passed down to production. One of as a driver, one of the coolest things about our series that hasn't been mentioned is that we do have a bunch of different category cars competing on the racetrack at the same time, and it was pretty amusing for me to show up here and see these Ferraris, because if you look at the back of that one over there, there's a yellow mark on it. That was for me at our last race, bastard. And then if you look at, and they repaired it on this one, but this guy ran into our other team Corvette. And so, one of the very cool things about our races is you have 4 different categories of cars competing on the track at the same time, all at different speeds, and that pretty much guarantees that you're going to have passing take place every single lap. All right? Also, one thing that the American Le Mans Series affords fans, you know, the motto of our creator, Don Panos, was American Le Mans Series for the fans. The access that you're going to have to our race cars and our teams during the weekend is unparalleled. They don't do it in NASCAR, they don't do it in Indy cars, they don't do it in any other series. You're going to be able to get up, talk to us, see the cars. You know, if you got your kids, sometimes we let the kids sit in the cars, all that kind of stuff. We really try to make our best effort to make it an enjoyable weekend. And I can just, you know, after going around the circuit, I can let you all know we are all very excited to be here, and guarantee you we're going to put on our best show.